Hello lovely simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to try and use the new bunk beds. So I haven't really gotten to play with them a lot in my builds because I'm working on my save file and none of the builds that I have planned for that really have a need for the bunk beds, but I've been seeing everyone use them and I've wanted to try my hand at it. So with this free build I had, I wanted to kind of purposely build a home based off of the idea of bunk beds. So what I came up with was a single mom raising twins. So there is 2 bedrooms in this home. There's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and then obviously a kitchen and a living area. And this home does count as a tiny home in the gallery. So it's not a micro, it's not the smallest that you can have, but it is a tiny home. It's not the largest of the 3 tiers. It's that middle tier. So you will get quite a few benefits from your family living here. And honestly, looking back at it, I wish I had added some garden plots because one of the benefits is gardening related, if I'm not mistaken. And I also placed a lot of plants and a lot of like flowers and really pretty colors around the lot. So part of me wishes I had added garden plots, but I was so happy with how the backyard looked, which we'll get to there really soon because this build isn't that long, so you guys will see what I'm talking about. But usually I don't really like my backyards because I feel like they're all the same, but this one I tried something a little different and I really like how it turned out, and I didn't really have the space to add any garden plots, so I decided just to leave it. But I hope you guys don't mind. And obviously, like, the mom could have a different job. She could just be in the gardening career and not have any the biology end of it, like the more science related one. Or she could be an artist, but it is definitely a very fun and colorful home. So I did think she probably did some sort of a artistic job, not really like a science-based one, unless it was the science-based gardening one. But anyway, the shape of the home came together really quickly. I did this really cool front decoration piece with some roofs to make it look like it had that it's kind of like a tradition of barn homes basically, but it has that cross piece in the front of the roof. And I did that because I just got done, well, not right now, but right before I built this house, I just finished building a house on stream, and I'd used that roof piece decoration quite a bit, and I liked the way that it turned out, so I wanted to try and use it in kind of a different style of home because this home is a little bit more modern. It's not, very modern. It's not like the ones I'm building for my save file, but it is not very rustic either, so I wanted to try and see if this kind of a roof could kind of be multi-purpose. And I do really like how it looks with this type of an exterior, so I'm excited to try different roof decorations in different pieces. But right now we are doing the landscaping, and the majority of the landscaping is the romantic garden pack. Now, I didn't use any debug for this home. I know, what a shock, but all of these plants are in the regular build and buy mode, and like I said, most of them are the romantic garden flowers. I don't use these that often because I usually use all my debug plants, but I placed some of the ones, the really tall ones, the ones that I turned yellow. You can see them right at the front of the house. I placed some of those and I was really feeling them for this build. I thought that they brought in a nice amount of color since there was no real color on the house itself. So I really liked how that ended up turning out. And then I used the same plants back here. Right now you can see I kind of drew a path from the front to the back. Now there is no back door, so in order for your Sims to get back here, they do have to come from the front of the house. But I figured since it's a tiny home, that's kind of okay because there wasn't enough space to put a door. But I end up extending the patio here because I wanted there to be a pool, because I did think that these kids were actual kids, not toddlers or anything, because they can use the bunk beds. And I thought that it'd be kind of cool if maybe the mom liked to relax in the pool and like the kids like to play out here, or maybe the kids had friends over, or maybe the mom had a lot of friends, like a lot of mom friends, so she had like pool parties, or maybe they hosted the neighborhood pool parties. Like, that was kind of my thinking, so I wanted to make sure that they had a nice little pool space back here. And I give them this table. It seats 4. Now, I did only imagine 3 people living here, and the double bed I have in this home is only functional for 1 person, but if you can maneuver it to be functional for 2 and have 4 people living here, then props to you. I would love to see that. but I'm giving them a little bit of a barbecue area as well, and then some lounge chairs, and then I'm also adding these Snowy Escape wall decorations and then merging them with some ivy from Get Together because I really liked how it looked. It almost looked like a trellis on the side of the home. And then we're getting into the furnishing. So right by the front of the house, I just do a simple seating area. It's just 2 chairs with a table, and I'm trying to figure out something to put on this wall here because I thought it just looked a little too bare, but I didn't want to put another light because I did put one on the other side of the door. So I ended up using those decorations from Perfect Patio. And then in here is the kitchen. It's a very small kitchen, but it is functional. It has 1 completely empty counter, and I think there might even be 2 usable counters, even though one technically has a decoration on it. It's not placed on an actual slot, so I think your sim will still be able to use it. But I mixed the Parenthood counters with these Country Kitchen cabinets, and I have to say I did really like it. Obviously you can see I was having a little bit of an issue with the placement of cabinets just because the wall here is really short and it wasn't really fitting the cabinets that well, but I do like how these pair with this cabinet. I like how the Country Kitchen kit pairs with Parenthood, so I'm gonna try and play with that a little bit more, maybe do some different color combinations because both of those packs have a lot of different colors mixed in with the swatches, so I'm excited to see how they work together. And then I'm just cluttering up the counters a little bit. I wanted this to be a really cute, colorful, fun home. I definitely thought that the mom created this really great space for her kids, and so I wanted to try and just portray that using some different colors and some clutter around the house, make it feel a little bit more homey than some of my current builds have been feeling recently. And then going over here, I'm just doing a little bit of decoration. I'm trying to make sure the house remains functional, so I'm not doing too much, but I am placing a little side table here and then a mirror and an umbrella rack by the front door. And then I also did the Seasons thermometer as well. And then over here is where the really tiny living room is going to go. I was trying to figure out what couches I wanted to use. I ended up going with the base game one, this one right here, and then I kind of also placed this eco lifestyle. I don't kind of place it, I do place it. It's this eco lifestyle wooden chair. I thought that it worked with the rest of the colors in the home, and it wasn't too big that I thought it would block your sim from walking anywhere. And then I have the one tiny living coffee table that I shrunk down 1, so that way it kind of looked like they were stacked coffee tables. And then I used the tiny living TV unit as well. I was initially going to use the new base game table. You guys probably saw me pull that out for a little bit, but I thought it just took up too much space and it didn't really fit the rest of the house because of how much space it took up, so I thought that the tiny living one probably worked a lot better. And then I decorate the space with a plant and then just a couple of wall lights to fill in the area and make it look a little bit more cozy like the rest of the home does. And then in here is the only bathroom, and there is no bathtub, so you cannot have a toddler in this build unless, of course, you do replace the shower with a bathtub. But since there is no toddler, and I wasn't planning on there being a toddler, I didn't think a bathtub was necessary. And then going into here, this is the mother's room. So this is what I was talking about how the room is only functional for one person, even though it's a double bed, because the bed does get placed right against the door, or right against the wall, so no sim can actually sleep on that other side. Now, I've heard some people say that their sims can slide over on the bed, and then you can still have 2 people sleeping in the bed. Now, that has never worked for me, so I don't know if it's just like it works with some people's games, doesn't work for others. But if it does work for you, then kudos, and I would love to see you have more than just 3 sims living in this house. But it does not work for me, so that's why I said this room is only functional for one person. And then I'm just placing a couple of decorations around, and then we are into the twin boys' room. So I did, like I said, I wanted to use the new bunk beds, so I do end up playing around with the windows just a little bit. I delete the one in here because I thought it was really weird to have a bunk bed covering up the window. And then I'm using this wooden swatch. I initially was going to use the metal one, but I just kind of didn't feel it. It wasn't really fitting the vibe I wanted for this room. And then I placed the night lights on the wall because I've been having an issue in one of my games. The monsters are back. They went away for a little bit, but now every single one of my kids has monsters under their beds. So I wanted to make sure I placed that light just for functionality purposes so your kids will actually get to sleep. And then I'm placing a couple of different random kids decorations around, just cluttering up the room, making it look like, 2 boys do live here. And besides that, that is it for this build, so I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!